Danny Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here with Gable Steveson, who is going to be headlining Dirty Boxing 4 against Billy
Mhm.
Swanson here at the end of the month. Gable, first of all, man, how are you? And welcome back to the combat sports world. I know I interviewed you. I don't know if you remember in PFL like a while
Yeah,
ago.
long, long time ago, maybe like
Yeah,
4 years ago.
yeah, exactly. You've tried a couple things, but you've come back home, as I like to say.
Mhm.
How are you, man? And how's life?
Man, I'm great. How are you?
Good, good.
That's good.
Um, so talk to me about first of all, this dirty boxing venture that you're going on. We
Yes.
obviously know that you have a decorated wrestling background, and obviously that transitions well into MMA. But dirty boxing is not necessarily MMA, right? There's no wrestling involved. It's mainly going
There's
to test your
none.
striking. So, talk to me about the decision of trying that out.
Man, like you just talked about, no wrestling, straight strikes, straight elbows, and straight ground and pound if a guy falls on his back. So this is the best thing for me because I want to answer all these questions. Can Gable Steveson strike? We'll see October 30th, which you will see. Can Gable Steveson wrestle? You saw September 12th on
Mhm.
LFA. And I think there's a lot of questions to be answered. I want people to be fearful of the ground game, the takedown game. And now I want to show the world that, hey, this guy can go out there and box a guy up and get him in and get him out.
Yeah, I'm assuming you obviously feel ready to take this step, right? Because some people would think, okay, maybe a few more MMA fights, so he can use and sort of fall
Mhm.
back a little bit on his wrestling, and then down the line, maybe sort of up it up and test his striking. But right now, you feel good to
Of
do a
course.
straight striking fight.
Straight striking fight. I feel really great. I feel prepared and more than ready to go out there and show the world that I can answer these questions. And
Yeah.
that question is, can he strike? And they will see.
And I gotta say, you're not taking an easy fight either. Billy Swanson's has experience. He's done Muay Thai, bare knuckle. He's fought for Bellator,
Mhm.
PFL. So this is a guy that's got a lot more experience than you in this realm too.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a great opponent. I'm ready to go out there and be Showtime as always. I want the people to show up and watch a great fight, but I want them to watch a flawless execution, and that's what I'm prepared to give them.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, last time we spoke was like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Since you tried, WWE, you
a
went
lot
down
of
the road of
things.
football for a little bit. And then you've come back to combat sports where most
Mhm.
people wanted you to be in the first place.
Sure, yeah.
Talk to me about sort of coming full circle and the decision to fall back to MMA.
Man, a lot of great experiences with everything. I've never regret any decision that I made, and I think a lot of things are coming back into full circle now. MMA is going to be a great thing, and I feel like I'm a high caliber wrestler in some type of way, and I'm ready for DBX to show the hands, and after that, get back to MMA and then keep showing the world that who I am, and just build from there, and just become a complete person and complete flawless athlete also.
Yeah. Could we potentially see you back in DBX beyond just one event, just to continue sort of building on top of those combat sports skills?
Sure, if they would love to,
Yeah.
I would love to do it again. But I follow the path that is given to me, and I think there's a great path that is laid out and ready for me. And this is just a spot in the road that I got to get over, and I know I can do it.
Yeah. What's the end goal here? Like, you're obviously, probably the best prospect right now in MMA, but
Mhm.
it's safe to say, like, you want to be in the UFC, you want to aim for becoming a UFC champion and taking that route.
For sure, I would love to become a champion, and I know I have what it takes. Right now, do I have what it takes? Most definitely not. But I'm humble enough to say that, and there's no ego in my head that would like to put me in steps that I'm not ready for. And this is just step one of getting ready for something that's going to be a lot greater than this. And I know that time will come very fast. And when that time does come, with the training that I have, with the partners I have, with the coaches I have, and the people around me, it's going to come quick. And I'll be more than ready for
Have you already had talks with the UFC in terms of like, hey, hit us up in a couple fights,
it.
or has there been any proximity yet? I'm assuming they've already reached out, right?
um. Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just in fair and nice words, just
Mhm.
a great organization. And I'm focused on becoming a champion in that also. But, just there's always been talks with
Yeah.
the guys there and then people that need to be talked to. But my main thing is one step at a time. And October
Course.
30th is step two.
Yeah. How close do you think, or how soon do you think it will take for us to see you like in the UFC and stuff? Because usually people like
Yeah.
you, like high level wrestlers like Brock Lesnar is probably a good
Mhm.
example, even though you achieved more than him. It didn't take long. I think it was like his fifth or fourth fight. He was already,
Mhm.
fighting in the UFC.
Yeah, I think very fast. very fast, and with the calls of the right people and making sure that I'm ready and on time, I think it'll be very quick.
Yeah. Um, how much of a blessing has it been that you've sort of linked up with John Jones and been training with him and obviously Jackson Wink? I'm assuming not many people get to get that opportunity, and
Man,
it's probably does wonders to your development, right?
man, it does wonders to my development, but I'm a lot of it is being all ears. You got to
Mhm.
be all ears, and you got to be have the head to be ready to learn and be able to go out there and be with guys like John and Greg Jackson and Brandon Gibson, who I train with specifically. So, man, it's no egos, it's no balloon heads. It's everybody's on the same page. When it's time to show up, man, we're all ready to go, and we're humble enough to be around greatness in all aspects, with my wrestling, with John's overall skill set that he has, with our striking coaches, with our main coaches. Man, we got a great room, and I'm happy to be there, and I'm blessed to have those opportunities, man, for real.
Yeah. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but a lot of the talk around this White House event for the UFC, a lot of the talk around that is that there's not that many like American fighters that are killing it or that are champions right now, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of like a better debut for someone who's an Olympian, Olympic gold medalist who represented
Mhm.
the U.S. Um, am I crazy for thinking too soon, or do you have you heard of that and you're like, hey, that sounds good to me?
um you're not crazy. You're not
Okay.
crazy. I think it'll be a great thing to have a Olympic champion on,
Perfect.
and USA Wrestling's finest.
Mhm.
There hasn't been a USA Olympic champion in 20 years, and somehow I captured it at 21 years old. So you're not far off from saying Gable Steveson can be on the White House and represent
Okay.
USA and walk out with that flag and go through anybody who steps in front of me. So I believe it. I do believe it.
Nice. Yeah. That would be like tailor made. I think that'd be perfect.
I think it'll be
Um,
super perfect.
yeah. And,
Mhm.
and I gotta ask you about sort of the experience in MMA and obviously tied to this dirty boxing fight that you have. You've won. I mean, how many times have you competed? Could you even remember like in total, like your record across,
It's got to be hundreds, man.
right?
Man, maybe thousands for sure.
Probably. Yeah.
Yes.
And you've won in MMA and LFA, as you mentioned recently, last month. Um, is it the same feeling when you get a victory, or is the adrenaline or the high different comparing combat sports?
I think the adrenaline and high is a little different just because you do
Okay,
it once every so often. And wrestling,
for
you
sure.
kind of wrestling every weekend. So you kind of just in humble words, you get used to winning. But I think in MMA, you get this big buildup of, man, this guy's training, you're training, you're seeing all his
Yeah,
clips and you're seeing all your clips, and then boom, you go out there and beat him in the first round. You get that different type of rush, and it's a feeling that I've never had in wrestling besides major matches. So it's cool to have that feeling and keep it going.
yeah, for sure. And in terms of your MMA development, you've mentioned you've worked a lot on your striking. I saw that kick that you threw in your debut prior to that single, man. It looked good. You're getting a great opportunity here at Dirty Boxing to showcase that striking. How difficult has it been to learn that? Because obviously the wrestling, the grappling, I'm sure there's things to learn, but it must come somewhat natural to you given your wrestling background. But the striking, how has that journey been?
Man, like I said, I have great people in the corner.
Yeah,
So I'm super excited to go out there October 30th and like show people that this guy's got it. And if I didn't think I didn't, and John didn't think, and everybody else didn't think, then we wouldn't have signed up for this. So we know that we're more than ready for this opportunity, and we'll make the most of it and go out there and like I said, flawless execution and domination, like how I always preach.
yeah. Have you felt power? You're obviously a heavyweight. But
Yes.
how has your power felt? How do you feel like your power sort of stands in MMA? Do you feel like you found it?
Yes. It's a different type of power because wrestling you got
Yeah.
actually, I'm sorry, it's kind of the same because wrestling and MMA, you're using
Hmm.
your hips, your abs, your core, and everything else to throw these punches. And man, I kid you not, and when I put on those gloves, I feel good. I feel
Yeah.
really good. I feel like a guy that can move and walk the walk and talk the talk. And then October 30th, man, and Nashville is gonna see a good old beatdown.
Yeah, excited to see, man, and
Mhm.
shouts out to Dirty Boxing because maybe a few years ago, um, promotions like Dirty Boxing didn't exist, right? So
Oh,
you would have to go into like straight boxing, which is very different.
mhm.
This is more like the striking of MMA, right? But obviously without the wrestling aspect. So I think it's a great step for you in terms of your career development. John Jones, by the way, is going to be in your corner or no? I know he's invested in
Yeah, I think he might be in the corner. I'm not sure because he
okay.
kind of is like the
Right. So
owner
he's
of it.
got
So
a
I don't know if he's
yeah.
doing businessman or I don't know if he's doing coach or if he's
Okay.
doing two on the same day. So
Yeah.
man, if he's in the man, anytime I get to be with him or see him and get to train, just honored, you know. So if he can step in that corner, man, we'll make it as big as possible.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Gable. Well, I appreciate the time, man.
I
Best of luck
appreciate you. Thank
on
you.
Dirty Boxing 4 main eventing as well, October
Mhm.
30th in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys can't miss. This is going to be a great fight. So looking forward to that fight, man, and looking forward to your combat sports careers. Let's see if you end up in the White House event. I think it makes a lot of sense. So, why not?
No, for sure. I appreciate you. Thank you.